Hey, it's Zenk. Today I'll be doing a lights on walkthrough for our 2011 haunted house, The Realm. So here's the sign I built. Pretty cool, I think. Alright, so here would just be the person that lets them through, lets them know when to go down. And they'd walk down this path alone. A group of 8 would be coming down this. Just be lit with these torches here. So 8 of them would be walking, freaking out. We've had the haunt open one night. So far we put probably a little over 100 people through, multiple times actually, and it went really well. We have our other bigger party coming up here this Saturday, so we aren't done yet. But here we come, and the lights are on, so it's a good time to show you details that you might have missed. As always, okay, just rules, that fun stuff. Okay, here, this is something we came up with that I thought was kind of original. It looks like the 9 flipped around there to make 666. The perfect address for Dante's house here. Okay, here's the first room, the pre-show room. Let's get some good shots here. So as you can see, just chairs throughout. A nice looking bookshelf over there. And of course the investigator's equipment set up along the wall here for the backstory. And our cobweb infested chandelier. So guests would sit down like I am right now, and we would start the pre-show, which if you look at the lights off video or any of our other videos, you can probably find. So this is just the title screen that would be on when they came in, and then we'd start the video, and the video is just played on this DVD player. I play it with this remote, and I conveniently labeled the buttons that I would be needing to use. And then we have it play through this surround sound receiver here, and we have speakers wired up in the ceiling right, I think, up here and over here. So 2 speakers hooked to the surround sound system so we could play it a little louder. Okay, then after the video, Vlad, our first investigator we'll meet, will fly through this bookshelf. If you missed that, there you go, the bookshelf opens, and he would be bursting through here with, I think I forgot to turn this on, just a second. He'd burst through the door with this lovely thing I built. All this is some PVC with an electronic firecracker down there in the end. Here, let's see if come on. See if we can get this to work. There we go, finally. Alright. Yeah, electronic firecracker in a piece of PVC pipe. I wired a switch onto it, and that just plugs into an electrical outlet. Second thing I built here, the fogway. This is a PVC pipe as well. I rusted it, or made it look like it's rusty steel pipe with joint compound. There we go. Lost my words. Alright, joint compound, some spray paint, some stain, all sorts of good stuff. And then we have some holes drilled in it. See one like there. Bunch in the top here. We also hooked a light onto it, make it look cool. So yeah, holes drilled into it, and there's just fog that shoots out all over in this thing, and fills this room really good so that it's hard to see, and then it also disperses it throughout. On the night of, there's enough fog in here once we're going that you can't even see the ceiling, so we don't have any issues with light reflecting from other rooms or anything. So then Vlad would have the 8 guests after they go through the pre-show standing against this wall, and he would disperse them into smaller groups of about 2 to 3. And once he dispersed them, they would head through the fogway, there we go. Jeez. Alright. And they come to this. The property is currently undergoing investigation by Denver Paranormal. Uh-oh, okay. So they would squeeze through this tight space and into our first hallway here. And there was nothing going on here. This was just to get their nerves going. You can hear some of the ambient noises and all the other actors scaring people, screaming, noises all over the place. I turned down the ambient noises for now so you can hear me talking, but you'll be able to hear them somewhat. And then we have a black light back here, which would make this curtain glow, which looks super eerie. And there's an actor that could come through here if they need to. Also, there's an actor that comes through here, but the way you would go is into the bedroom. Alright, so you could go either left or right. We'd have our actors, or we will still have our actors, chase them either way there, and kind of chase them around some, mess with their minds. Alright, here's another prop I built. This is just a button on this cabinet. And that's just a distraction. Oh crap, that freaked me out. Alright, that's just a distraction to divert their attention away from the actor that would be on the bed, and possibly another actor in here, under here, or in the closet or somewhere, wherever they want to be. So how this works. Simple, just one cylinder hooked into there, switch wired up top there. Basic prop there that I threw together at the last minute. We actually originally had a guy on this bed that we were going to put on there that looked like he was being electrocuted, that I built, that prop. But I built it when we were going to do an asylum theme, and obviously those plans changed when we did this theme. So it didn't work as well with the theme, but we're going to try to incorporate it anyways, but unfortunately he had some issues, and it would have taken a lot of time to fix him, so we just tore him apart, and we used the parts for this prop here, and then also the jack-in-the-box later on, you'll see. So the actor in here would warn you not to go into the closet, which seems like some pretty solid advice. I mean, the closet doesn't look too inviting here. But the guests would ignore her, obviously, and they would head right here into the closet. This would be filled with fog, and there's a strobe light at the end here. There's the head. But yeah, you'd be pushing through clothes. There's mothballs in here to make it smell gross and like a closet. An old closet. There's a strobe light. So you basically couldn't see anything when you'd open this plastic, and then we'd have our next actor standing here or standing around this corner. And he invited you to join him for dinner. Looks like a pretty tasty meal he has prepared here. And after he distracted them for a little bit, he would scare them with this microwave. So the microwave explodes. And then, after he establishes that it doesn't look like the microwave is going to work, he would open the oven. And guess who's for dinner? You are. You get to crawl through the oven. And so there you go. You get to crawl through there. It's pretty tight. So we had to obviously put a bypass for people that wouldn't be able to make it through. And we had a code called Code Purple Twinkies. And basically what we do is we give them a light glow stick that they wear around their neck. And the actor in here pulls them aside. And once everyone's gone through the oven, they get to go through this hidden bypass door here. And they both get out in the same place. So there's the door we just came through. There's the oven. And this is just a room where we get our group back together. And nothing really happens here. It's a holding room to make sure the groups don't run into each other. So there's obviously more of those posters. That has absolutely no purpose to be in here, except for after the end of the haunt last night, we found it laying on the floor, and we thought, what the hell, it's hanging up. So that's basically the reasoning behind that, or the lack of reasoning behind it. Okay, so then once they'd let you into the holding room, or out of the holding room, you would get to go into the bathroom, which we wanted to make look as gross as possible. And here is my favorite prop I built. It is my disgusting toilet. And as you can see, it looks nasty. And people would be pretty grossed out by it. They'd almost be sticking their face down in there just to see what exactly is in the bottom there. But you know what happens when they do that? Is, like everything else in this house, the toilet explodes and covers them in toilet water. And I built that prop a couple months back. It's just an old toilet. I ran a garden hose through, and the garden hose goes into a bucket of water, and then there's just a air cannon in here. So when it is triggered by this doorbell back here, it supplies power to the valve on the air cannon here, and it lets out all of the air stored in the little reservoir there that you see. The air comes flying out of here into the garden hose. The garden hose then comes around here and into the bucket of water back there that's very well hidden from us. Into the bucket of water, and then it sucks the water into the toilet, and some will stay sitting in there, but air and water will come shooting out of the toilet. So there's the gist of that prop. After that, they come into the hallway here, and things start to open up, and they will notice that there is a man with an axe standing right here. And they're probably wondering, oh, wonder what he's going to do to us. Well, as they proceed down the hallway to try to get away from him, they realize that the door is locked, even though it really isn't. Okay. The door is locked. So, after they establish that the door is not going to open, they will find the keys here. We originally had 5, but we had to minimize it to 2 because apparently people, when freaked out, have issues using keys and opening doors. So, I may have cheated. I kind of know which one it is. But once you open that door, the Axeman would charge the rest of the way towards you. He'd be stalking you to that point, but he'll charge the rest of the way towards you to get you moving into this room, and he'll slam the door behind you and reset for the next group, which is when they let the group behind them out of the holding room that I showed you earlier. So that's to keep the groups from running into each other, which wouldn't work here in the hallway part. Then the guests proceed into here, and this is filled with fog as well. This light isn't on right now, but it's just a red light that would glow in here. And as you can see, we have options. 7 to be exact, or 6 if you don't count where you came from, which I don't know why you would. So there's 2 or 3 actors in here that basically are just running between doors, freaking you out, and you proceed to guess which door it is. What actually is going on here, though, is there is just one hallway, basically running all the way around all of these rooms, as you can see now. All of these doors here are connected by one hallway. The only one that is a dead end is this one here. So we have one dead end to confuse them a little bit more. But all of these hallways go to the same place, and by actors positioning their body where they want to, they could block off where they'll let you go. Now you're probably asking, what's the right door? Well, this colored one. And it's a total coincidence that that's colored. It's just recycled plastic. But even if you do choose the right door initially, we would have the way out here locked. So you're going to get chased around for a while until the actors decide they're ready for you. Once again, that's to control the groups and make sure they don't run into each other, and to make sure that we scare the crap out of them in that room to its fullest potential. Okay, once you come into this room, we have the tricycle, which we have someone riding, and they look at you and scream, and that's to kind of hold you back from the Jack-in-the-Box and slow you down a bit so that you can see this. Here, let me turn it on. So, we have our Jack-in-the-Box here. And that's just a motor I hooked onto that. That's hooked to a prop controller, which, as I said before, I took off of the electrocution man that we were initially going to have on the bed in the bedroom. So, once that goes off, the actor would pop up, obviously. After the crank is done, the prop controller triggers this strobe light to come on, and it'll just stay on for a while, and then it'll reset itself. There you go, it went off and reset itself. But the actor would have that also, which scared the crap out of people. It's super loud, and I'm sure the actor is going insane by the end of the night with it. But here's the inside of this. You can't see the good stuff. There's the speakers down there, and then just the stuff plugged in. And then the prop controller is in that box. The trigger is hanging right there, as you can see. And then that's just going to the motor, and this one here is plugged into the strobe light. And then both of those are spliced onto the prop controller to allow it to go on and off when I program it to, which is, well, as you saw before. Alright, we also have this, this is not the way you would go, but we have this trap door here, which is just back here to the actors area where we have our costumes along the wall here. We have makeup. Back there we have storage also, and then we would have food for them. So we try to take care of our actors. They're all volunteers, so we won't want to try to not scare them away. We might need them again sometime. Alright, so then you would proceed this direction. This is the way you would go. And it's dark in here because, well, that's the way it's supposed to be in here. It's supposed to be dark. Let's see if I can... There we go. Light. Alright. So we have a drop panel there. And then we just have, basically, pictures throughout this hallway. Initially we had lights, little LED spotlights, lighting up different parts of the parts of pictures and stuff, but we've decided after doing a couple lights on run-throughs and stuff that it's scarier if it's pitch black in here. You get a little bit of ambient glow from other rooms, but not a lot, so it's pretty dark. And then the drop panels can scare people good, and then we have these with the eyes that light up. Then here's our second drop panel here, and then once again our pictures here that change. Alright, so you come to the end of this hallway and into the living room. These walls, you may notice, are not painted, but with the lighting situation the way it is, which is only the Price is Right TV down there, and lots of, oh, there's the air compressor. Hopefully you can still hear me. Alright, with the Price is Right TV down there being the only light in this room, and the amount of fog we'd pump into here where it was really dark, you'd see an eerie glow. You'd be able to see kind of what was going on here, but just barely. You'd be like, oh, I'm walking towards the TV, and then you'd notice the couch, and there's our drop panel 1, drop panel 2 here from the backside. So we had the same actors here again, and we actually had some of the actors decide that they would scare again from the backside of these drop panels. So that was kind of a neat little thing. But basically, once you come down here, one of the things we figured out that works the best is if we had an actor stand right here behind the TV, with the fog and the TV in your eyes, you could not see them at all. And Obviously the TV got people's attention, because TV tends to do that to people, you know. So they'd be looking at the TV, and I could probably turn off the light now. Alright, there we go. You'd be looking at the TV and it would get your attention, then we'd have one of our actors here jump out and scare the crap out of you. We also sometimes had him laying on the floor here looking like he fell out of his wheelchair. That was entertaining for people. And sometimes they'd be sitting on the couch. They really mixed it up in here, did what they felt like they wanted to. And then the same actors in here could also scare back into this hallway here with the locked door there. They could scare through that pallet there a little bit. So then once the guests would come through here, they'd notice this guy who was barely lit, just enough so that you could see him, and people tend to shy away from him along this wall here, which is a very poor idea because, as you can see, we have an air cannon coming through that hole down there that's controlled from the back side of this wall. So that would shoot air at them, scare the crap out of them, and they'd come through here and have to push through this door, which is bungeed shut. Got to see a couple people get drilled in the face by their friends walking through that door. That was fun. Alright, so here's the air cannon I was telling you about before. And then we have our electrical box prop here. And the actor, same actor with the air cannon here, would control it using their feet. And as you can see, hopefully, we have electric firecrackers hooked up to the, yeah, I don't know if you saw that or not. I was just kind of holding the camera out of the middle of nowhere. Okay, so, yeah, these shoot sparks if you missed it. Oh, there's my finger, alright. These shoot sparks if you missed it. There's electric firecrackers that I wired up. These are obviously not live wires, but there you can kind of see I wired it up and then around to the side of the box, and then we wired it to that switch. Alright, this is the garage. Give a couple dead seconds here, and then you come to the trash can. This is also the person that controls the toilet back behind this wall. There's the bucket I was telling you about that we couldn't see before. So this is one for the toilet back there. So there's the toilet, and then here's the trash can right next to the toilet, and the trash can is just that one. It can actually extend all the way up to there, but actors usually don't do that. They also threw trash bags at people, because, I mean, who doesn't want to have trash thrown at them, right? Okay, then we will proceed to the graveyard. As you can maybe vaguely hear here, I turned down the sound effects like I said before. There's like crickets and outdoor noises, and then we have banjo music playing. So here's the outdoor area. We hauled rocks in from outside. It'll be fun to clean up. But as you can see, these little sticks here, those are for solar lights that are charging outside right now, but we brought those in here. And then one of our effects that we got the most compliments for is this here. I don't know if you can see in the video, but this is the ground is spongy here. Basically all we have is a mattress buried under some rocks from outside. We have two boards just going up to them, just leaning against the mattress. So very low tech, but very effective. So, whoa, what just happened? Zoom, okay. So here we go, we have our tool shed. So this is kind of the climax here, going into the tool shed. We have our crates, or our, I don't know why I always call them crates, our steel drums here, which make a lot of noise. That was one of our biggest scares last year, so we brought it back again. And obviously, lots of scares with that. Then we have this guy here who has the chainsaw. This chainsaw is a little wimpy, unfortunately. It's had electric because we couldn't have the fumes indoors, sadly, but let's see if I can get it to work. So yeah, basically a loud vacuum cleaner shaped like a saw. But yeah, that was the last room. Then you come through here, and for some of the groups we had a actual chainsaw that would be here, and we chase them out the door the rest of the way. This is the same place you came in, so that was a little tricky sometimes. But I think that this Saturday when we do the haunt again, we are definitely going to have to use a real chainsaw at some point. We might have to have it outside the whole night, unless we have some draft coming through here that we can kind of air out the fumes. But there you go. That's a lights on tour of the haunted house. I hope you learned some things. Had a ton of fun building it, and I think people enjoyed it a lot. So yeah, thanks for watching.